Okay, here we go. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone tonight? It is the 7th of January of 2023, and I hope everyone is feeling great. We made it through 2022, and I'm telling you that was a rough one for me. Just barely scraped it over the edge. So my name is Sky. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I was previously in 2022 homeless, living in a van with COVID. I almost died. A fellow that I knew for 30 years uh, here in Portland came by and pretty much saved my life. And once we got started on that, uh, everybody in my family's pretty much passed over. And unfortunately, we lost my BD, eldest daughter. But however, that was a good thing because my daughter had already passed over in 2014. So I called for May to come and get her sister, Asia, and help her over to the other side. And I was very thrilled to see that when I moved into the apartment in April 2022 in North Portland, that the girls came down. I didn't see them physically, but they were here. They were turning on the dog toys and stuff like that. But I know it's them. And I did see my daughter 4 days after she had been murdered in 2014. So where am I going with all of this? Okay, here's where I'm going. God came and got me and out of the van, and he told me that I was sinning. Okay, I'd hate to go over this all the time. I'm not going to go into it, but I didn't know I was sinning. He explained it to me that I was sinning with the dude that I knew for 30 years. But the good news was he told me that he was my divine counterpart, my husband, that we could simply get married and hurry up and come on because we have much work to do. This is what God told me. He didn't explain everything. He's very busy. He's kind of moves silently but quickly. And so he took me out to a field and he told me, I have a job for you to do. And I got so excited about that job. I don't think I can even put into words when God came and got me and told me I had a job to do because I've always been a good worker. I love to work. But this would be the job, I guess, that we're all told about. That when we're here, we're supposed to get a job and do it. I just didn't know how to find out what my job was. I thought about it all my life, and I'm a master of many things. I have more pieces of paper than anybody in my family, which have all passed over anyway. It doesn't matter, but I consider myself a highly intelligent person, a highly creative person, a highly professional person, a highly anything person. I finish whatever I start. If something happens, and I really don't think I've been fired maybe once in my whole life or something, but I definitely am a self-starter and a pioneer woman. And by that, I mean, I'm 64 years old. I was the first woman ever in Southern Oregon in Curry County to fight fires with men. And I was 18 years old over in Bridge, Oregon. That'd be outside of Myrtle Point, over there by Coos Bay. Also, I was 22 when I first gave birth to my first child. She was huge, 8 pounds, 10.5 ounces, C-section, OSHU in Portland here. And back in those days, when you had a big baby like that, C-section, they just took all your babies C-section. So I was a pioneer woman. I had one 11 months later, 8 pounds, 6.5 ounces, and I had that natural. So that kick-started a whole new revolution because that cesarean's a pretty serious situation after you give birth. They had to staple my big belly. Okay, so let's move on. God came and got me, told me to get married, stop sinning and lust. And when I told him, well, my friend, I asked him if he ever got any love, and neither one of us was sure we even knew what love was. So I asked him if he thought he could give me some, because I never had any my whole life. He said he thought he could, and so away we went. And God told me in no uncertain terms, that's not love. That's lust, and you're sinning. Stop it immediately. So, I told him, come on, man. God's got a job for us to do. What kind of job? Well, I got interrupted that day by he and his cousin, and I was being told, from what I understood by that lady, was I didn't get to finish it, so I can't put it per se, but I know what I was supposed to do. Let's start with that. God came and got me and told me I was supposed to heal myself, write a book, and then, let's see, get my glasses on. Write a book, and then in 2035, that I was to go out amongst the people and heal them. Okay? I was needed in 2035. So 64 and 33, I'll be 97 years old in 2035. I plan to be on the job healing people when God calls upon me. And when you say, Christy, you're crazy, you're nuts, uh, excuse me, people, get on board. We have been lied to, and everything that we know is baloney. Okay? How do I know I'm talking to God? Well, because he's given me gifts. He's teaching me things, okay? And the more I learn, the more I know. And God is a very finicky person as far as when he tells you, I'm going to give you a gift, and then I want you to go out here and go observe and then come back. And when you see me, I want you to tell me what you saw, what was going on. I want it word for word. I want everything about it. And then he asked me if I was in charge, what I would do about what I saw. So let us start here. When he asked me to write a book, it's because I am not from this planet. Attention, I am not from this planet. I'm an incarnated soul of a starseed from the starseed sister constellations or whatever. I get more into that later. But I am here to do a job, all right. And it's not the job that God told me to do. Well, wait a minute. Here's the deal. This whole thing, I didn't know anything about any of this spirituality till God came in. Well, a few years back, Brian Dunkel was trying to tell me that there were alternative, uh, I don't know, other places you go, I guess. So I didn't understand when he was saying he had to leave to California that day. So I didn't get to the bottom of that. But now here it is. He did come yesterday, him and John both, and I talked to him about it. I'm sure Brian is an earth angel and probably John too, but we're so old now. We had fun. Yeah, we did. God had been telling me for months, Christy, go out and eat dinner, go have a couple of drinks and enjoy yourself. And I'm in here stomping and screaming. What do you mean? How am I going to go out to dinner? I don't have any money. Now, will you please? I'm not mad that I don't have any money, but stop saying that to me. You keep telling me to go places and have fun. How? I don't have any money, okay? Can't even get on the bus. And I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just do our work right here. So here we are now, April 2003. And I was given some information by God this morning and then 2 days ago also. But he told me to take it up a couple notches. And so what does that mean to me? That means move faster, Big Mama. You're going to have to get up and move faster. You need to be putting out more content. You need to get yourself in order, get organized, get the house clean. Yes, everyone. I went on a 8-month, almost 24-hour a day straight without any breaks mission to get an understanding about this spiritual journey I was on. My counterpart, DMBD, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Ghost, I'm not mad. He has his own life too. We're not married. He saved my life when I was dying, okay? So, I thought he wanted to come to the apartment, but, it turns out to be that nobody has to do anything for me, to me, or with me. My feelings aren't hurt. If you come here and you tell me, oh, yeah, I like you, whatever, and then you're sick, I'm in the hospital going in and out, and I tell you to go across the street and give me a 7-Up. I'm deathly violently sick for 15 days while you were gone in Eugene or working or whatever. God, I'm so thirsty. I've been drinking water, no food. Could you please go across the street and give me 7-Up? Well, Winnie just didn't come back. So, I went back to the hospital that night, I think. I called an ambulance. I had to go. But anyway, he's a good person about intelligence. He's highly intelligent. He has a huge It'd be like a bag that the Grinch has on his back of responsibilities. I'm sure he has a hell of a lot more I don't even know about, but they're not my responsibilities. We're not married, so I don't. I'm over here in my God journey. When I say that he was my divine counterpart and he was supposed to be here working with me, all I can say is that the truth as I know it, which was my life experience. I don't lie, cheat, or steal. I'm not making anything up. This is exactly how it went. And I'll put my name to it in front of God, the angels, the 30,000 legion, and my ancestors. Okay, so here we go. Uh, God went and got him on 3 separate occasions and cut him loose. He was drinking, drugging, and under witchcraft spells. Again, I'll get into that in a minute. But he was bound and tethered to this woman, or this witch, or monster, or whatever it was. And he liked it there. He was really just living it up as a man, and you know what I mean by that. I mean, with everybody and everything, and all that, and good enough. And so I'm not here to judge anybody. I didn't tell anybody had to do anything with me. To each their own. And we all know this. If anybody has ever been in the 12-step program or when they were younger, they had an addiction or alcohol problem. And I had all of the above and more. So I did go through Project for Community Recovery. And what we learn is that never mind anybody else. Christy needs to just concentrate on Christy. Don't be looking across the room at somebody else and trying to tell them what to do. You know, you got enough problems on your own. And no, I didn't say it was drinking, drugging, and having sex. But I will get into that in a minute, too. We're going to just take it from the top. I believe what I was told by a woman was the DMBD. He was, if he would have been my husband or whatever, in 2035, I believe they said that he was, I don't know what they're speaking about. I didn't look it up. I'll give it to you next time on the next report, little school study thing here for other people that are just like me that grew up and didn't know what was going on with them. They just knew they weren't different. We don't fit anywhere. Okay, that's basically the situation here. So I'm taking it up a couple notches. And what I'm saying is this. I believe they called it 10,000 men, and I don't know what that means after the coming of Christ, but I guess there's a legion of men, maybe 10,000, and they said Big Daddy was supposed to lead them. And so I told him, I said, well, man, can you imagine that? I'm out walking amongst the people, healing them, and you're going to lead 10,000 men. I don't know what it means, but I haven't had time to look it up. I'll do it on the next little lesson we're doing tomorrow. But neither here nor there. He's black and I'm white, which means nothing except this. I had been getting these lucid dreams when I was very violently ill. I have them all the time sometimes. But Big Daddy and I were in Egypt. So I told him, you know, old man, we were in Egypt together. And he said, what? I said, yeah, we were. I said, I think I was Cleopatra and you were my Mark Antony. And I was joking. That's not what I saw, but I did know that I was in Egypt, and I felt that Big Daddy was too. And then I told him, you know, we have been together many lifetimes together. I'm not saying you were always married to me, but I said, I think we always knew each other. And, you know, I don't know what Big Daddy says. I think he thinks I'm losing my mind sometimes, or he's a very busy guy. He's got a lot on his mind. So he doesn't say shut up or look at me and give me an ugly look or anything. He just says, what? You know, so that's get back in your lane, Christy. I'm not here to talk about anybody else but Christy Sky, not the DMBD. Okay, so tonight, because God told me that I need to start moving faster. And I want to be very clear on this because when he asked me about writing a book, I got a typewriter and stuff. But you guys, I'm just letting you know, this is a very intensive program as far as I'm concerned. You know, we don't have teachers. There's no blackboards. There's no books, and there's no work study books. So you find your own way in this program. But don't worry about it. If you're called upon, just know this. If you will be given dreams, visions, whatever, If you absolutely can't make your way at all, you will have dreams and visions. People will come and tell you out of nowhere. And I don't mean people on the street, they'll appear in your house or in your ear. Uh, you begin to understand that there's all kinds of things going on around you, and they're trying to signal you because they want you to pay attention. However, I'm still working on that. I'm not very good at it. When the right ear starts ringing, okay, come on, Sky, you can get it. Is the right ear God and the left ear is your angels? I believe the right ear is God and the left ear is your angels, my angels. So, like, if I get the high ring in the right ear, that means stop what I'm doing. Stop, look around, pay attention. Any synchronicities? Is God whispering in my ear? Something's wrong. God's trying to signal me. Something's out of whack. Maybe I better pay attention. And in the left ear, it's the ancestors, spirit guides, or angels are snap out of the sky. Tune in. You're not hearing us. We're trying to get a hold of you to tell you there's something important you need to know. Now, I am talking to the people who don't fit, that are the black sheep of their families, that are little, young, old, medium, or whatever. I never did fit anywhere. I was an overachiever. I played sports. So, basketball, volleyball, went to college, all this. I had 40 male goats when I was in sixth grade. I just, um, always have known that I can understand animals. And when you say, what do you mean, Christy? Well, yeah, I'm telling you just what I said. My service dog, it doesn't speak words, but it talks to me mind to mind. And she also has physical things she does to signal me as an animal what she's trying to tell me. And am I understanding it? She lets me know. Okay, so with that being said, I believe that's called a clairaudient. I have more gifts, and I'll explain that in a second. But just to make my point about me talking to the animals, I've always felt more comfortable with animals than people. People were never nice to me ever in my whole life. I seem to irritate anybody anywhere I go. I know I do not let that bother me because I'm highly educated. I'm highly intuitive. I'm highly everything. So I'm not here to, argue with anybody about my gifts or if they're gifts. And let me assure you of this. I was never told that I have heard of fallen angels. Yes, I have. I studied several different religions growing up through high school and college. I was baptized a Presbyterian. My daughters went to Presbyterian, were baptized. But I mean, I have some knowledge of the Bible. I went to church camp every year for years because my mother hated my guts. And that was 60 miles up in the mountain with no phone. And you went the day school got out, and you came back the day before school started. So it was a very harrowing, dangerous situation. People fell and broke their arms and legs. People drowned. It was really quite horrifying for me in sixth grade, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. I guess I went there every summer because my mom hated my guts. And, you know, I'll just say it this way. I was paying attention where I was walking. I have been swimming since I was a newborn. So, no, whatever lake, pond, or whatever they were putting us in, no, I stayed up by the shore. Wasn't trying to swim across the lake or anything else. And I was a horrible, powerful swimmer. Okay? So, what I'm saying is that by my mother hating my guts and not liking me since the day I was born, telling me that every day, beating me, whipping, hitting me with whipsticks, clubs, 2x4s, frying pans. She beat me unmercifully down to the ground for no reason at all. I never knew what I did wrong. She would just come home from work and decide it was time to beat the fucking shit out of me, and she would proceed to do that. She would beat me down till I couldn't walk. And so I'd be cowering under the table or whatever, she'd still be beating me. That's what she did. She liked to do that to me. So, don't put your hands up. Don't make any noise. Do not put your hands up when she's beating you with whatever you are. You'll get it double worse. And so that's what she liked to do. She liked to beat the holy living stuffing out of me. And when I was I don't know, freshman or sophomore in high school, the beating and abuse on me got so out of control that my half brother, that was 2 years older than me, had to grab my mother by the nape of the neck and throw her in her room and tell her, "What are you doing? Stop beating Christy like that." And my brother was a tackle on the football team. We were all serious athletes. My mother was a freak and a health food nut, Jack LaLanne every morning, but neither here nor there. I was not a tiny petite woman like my mother. My mother was like 5'2", 80, 90 pounds or something, maybe 110 dripping wet. I'm 5'5". I've always been a big girl. I've been big since the day I was born. That doesn't mean I couldn't move it and shake it. Okay? I planted trees, the first woman ever in the state of Oregon, on a danger crew down in Roseburg, Oregon. Unplantable ground at the top of mountaintops. There's only 10 people on that crew out of 500 tree planters in the whole state. I was one of them. And I started at position number 10 in that line, and I worked my way up to position 2. So, it was like that with everything I did. I also worked for the Corps of Engineers. Excuse me, I bit my tongue on accident. I set chokers off tugboats up in Lost Creek Resort Dam, 30 miles east of Medford, Oregon. And that would, excuse me, I stayed in the town called Shady Cove at the Busy Beaver Motel. All right, moving along here. So, I haven't been able to get the book started, but this is one thing that I realized when I started my spiritual journey. I was not put off when my friend walked off and went somewhere else, because, that's always what he's done. He does whatever he wants to do. Nobody stops him. But it kind of irritated me because God kept coming here and saying, "Where is the DM?" And the DM is a divine masculine, or he was supposed to be a gift from God to me. God told me, "This is your gift from me, from God. This is a divinely," what did he say? It was a divinely something, not attachment. It's called a divinely put together, people for a marriage. God did Big Daddy, and I'm the DF, divine female. Anyway, you can't make Big Daddy do anything. He can't. Christy Sky mines just for God. Yes, she does. She mines like a big dog. I will turn the whole world away. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I'm telling you that when I saw God and met him, God is a very nice person. The man that I met, and yes, he is God. Okay? I know he's God because I know. Okay? He's a very, very nice man. He's nothing like we were taught in the Bible, preaching hell and brimstone, fire, hell on earth, or whatever. But I am telling you this now, everyone. There's lots of people from other planets on this orb, Gaia, Mother Earth, we're on now. This is not the only Earth, okay? The veils are very thin between the third, the fourth, and the fifth realms. When they're talking about, Christy, start down your spiritual path, get going. I was told that I was where was that little list of mine right there? I don't know. Just a minute. Okay, where was it? Okay, here it is. Okay, this is when God first came and got me, what he told me I was when he said he had a job for me. And I had written it down because it was so unbelievable and overwhelming. I didn't know what any of it meant. But he told me this is what God told me I was: a chosen one, a spirit warrior, a StarSeed implant, an earth angel, an empath healer, a divine feminine, and I was also a psychic. So what I am doing now, I started a book of definitions because I didn't understand any of the words that they're talking in this spiritual program. Every day there's words I don't understand, and I look them up. So starting today, we're going to just, we're a little bit behind 9 months, but we're going to start today, and we're going to do a little program every day. And I'm going to continue to do what God has asked me to do. And for now, I am supposed to be speaking on my life experiences More. God said, talk more, Christy, and more work faster. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try to be as clear as I can um, because let me be very clear about this. When I told you that God came and got me and told me to go out and investigate something, it wasn't even a problem for me. I astral projected out there. My divine male counterpart was there where I went. And shock above horror of horrors, my own mother, which is dead, and then my eldest daughter, which is not dead, but belongs to the Church of Christ. I'm not sure if it's in Milwaukee or Vancouver, Washington, or where it's at, but I do know this. My daughter has a very evil streak, mean, abusive streak in her. Her husband is, I don't even want to pass judgment on anybody. Let's just go along, Christy. Don't do that. Okay, I almost slipped. I'm sorry. No problem. I'll speak on what I know. My daughter was raised in church. She was taught to not lie, steal, or anything. You can work for whatever you want. If you can't work and pay money, you can barter, trade labor, whatever. We have a million things you can do if you really feel you need something. But what you don't do is you don't go victimize anybody else. You don't see something somebody else has got and then just decide it's yours. You're going to take it. I don't go for any of it. And if I ever catch anybody doing it around me, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Put my name on the book. I'll tell them to stop it. Don't do that around me. I'll try to stop them. But if they insist on doing something, then I will get the hell out of there. But if I'm asked, I will most assuredly stand up and speak the truth. That's the whole deal with me. I have an outrageous attitude towards bullies, people who victimize other people. And this has been going on ever since I was a little girl. So when I was in third grade in Silverton, Oregon, and we made a trip to the Washington Park Zoo, Evelyn Watson ate some giraffe cookies. So what? Okay? I'm 64 now. I'm telling you, who cares? If Evelyn wanted to eat the giraffe cookies, it's anybody's business? But of course, we got back to school, and Evelyn was on the swing next to me. We were swinging, and she was eating her giraffe cookies. And, a rich kid, a boy came over there, knocked her off her swing and down in the dirt and mud or whatever, chips or whatever it was. Started making fun of her, calling her names, bullying her, kicking her draft cookies around. And I just got off the swing and blocked the guy's eye. Okay, I just slugged him in the eye and told him, get the hell out of here. Don't talk to her like that. Get the fuck out of here, man. Leave us alone. Why are you knocking her off the swing? So, yes, I was marched right to the office. I was expelled out of school. And I just know that I had an affinity for injustice ever since I was a little girl. Okay, about all the abuse that I took sexually, mentally, morally, spiritually, and physically. My mother's favorite thing to do would be to beat the hell out of you and then say, go ahead, I dare you to tell. Go ahead and tell anybody, Christy, and you won't live to see the next day. Well, my mother started locking me in the closet in third grade. So when I came home at school, 3:30, whatever, I had to go straight to the closet and get in the closet. My mom locked me in the closet. She didn't give me anything to eat or drink, and I had to stand in there all night long until she let me out the next morning before school. So between 5:30 and 6, I had to play my accordion for an hour, and then I got for breakfast 1 cup of hot water and 1 boiled egg, and then it was off to school. So then I had a nice day at school, and then I came back home to get back in my abusive closet. And my mother always said, if you have an accident in your pants, if you wet your pants or anything, she was going to beat the hell out of you, and you would not live to see that next day either. So I better not do it. But of course, if you only got a boiled egg and a cup of hot water in the morning, and I'm not sure what they fed us at school, it wasn't that huge of a dinner, but if she didn't give you anything to eat, drink, or eat when you got home from school, she didn't really have to worry about me doing anything. I was probably dehydrated. But I know that she locked me in that closet every night, every day at 3:30 till 5 or 6 the next morning. and then got out and started whacking me around, playing my accordion, and get in there to the table for breakfast. And you better not, shut up, don't open your mouth, or you'll not live to see the day. Okay, so I stayed in that closet till yes, I did. Yes, I did, Christy Sky. Yes, you did. Yeah, I was so frustrated. I tore up my forearms. I pinched myself to the skin. Came off, and my arms were all bloody on both arms, and they were all bloody and bruised. And then when my mother saw that, she had to take me out of the closet because, and cover up my arms. She didn't want anybody at school seeing my arms all bloodied up and bruised. And, I tore the skin right off there. You sure I did. I had fingernails back in those days. Yeah, bloodied up my arms real good. Yeah, that was a blessing in disguise because I got to get out of the closet then. Okay, so moving along. I look at my arms now. I guess that's what's wrong with my forearms now, but I didn't realize that till I was just thinking about it the other night. Being a StarSeed implant means that we're here to do a job to lift up, they call it the collective. The collective would be other people such as ourselves, everybody. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I forgot to tell you something about the Bible and our studies that we did. I've studied different religions. I was unaware, everyone attention, Christy Sky was totally unaware. I have heard of fallen angels. I know Satan and the buddies that moved out of heaven were fallen angels, but nobody bothered to tell me. Excuse me, everyone. Nobody bothered to tell me that where those fallen angels went. I just took it that they were down in hell. You hear about hell, fire, brimstone, people screaming, hot, no water, and whatever. Excuse me for coughing so much. I have asthma. I get a little emotional excited. I start choking, which you can go online at YouTube and clear all 7 of your chakras in 30 minutes. So my throat chakra is closing up. And what do you have to say about that, Miss Sky? Well, I have this to say. My DMBD X, whatever he was to me, he is the same as I am. Meaning I believe he's a light worker and he's a StarSeed implant with me. I think that's why God put us together. Plus, we used to be funny with each other. We had a great fun, but nothing's funny anymore, let me assure you of that. I spend most of my time crying, and he's confused and angry at me. And I don't mean to do it on purpose, but we're just living in some very volatile times, folks. And this is what I do want to say. A guy came and spoke to me and said, Christy, how are you feeling? And I'm feeling fine, thank you very much. Okay, I look like hell because of what I've been through, but I'm feeling all right. He said, well, are you dizzy? And I said, well, yes. If I go up any higher into the heavens, are you guys going to give me a spaceship? Because I can't even breathe. I have asthma and I can't breathe. I'm short of breath. I'm dizzy. I said, but when I get back down here to my apartment, I'm walking around. I'm dizzy all the time. And he told me, well, Christy, that's because, we gave you a little tweak in your fucking DNA and you hopped up your engine a little bit. And I said, oh, well, bless you, God. Thank you for that because the Lord knows I'm moving like a sloth, okay? I was here alone and worked for 8 months. I did hear, I believe it was the angels saying, get up and go do the dishes, clean your house up. And I told him I don't have to. I'm exhausted. This work is so mentally, morally, spiritually exhausted. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing what God tells me to do. I don't think he's going to send a lightning bolt down and kill me because my dishes aren't done. I don't have any family or friends. I'm accountable to nobody but God and for myself. And I'm sure God will let me know if it's a sin and get up and do something about it. So when I say that God speaks to me, I have no reason to lie about that. I'm not even going to speak on that other than I said I talk openly to God all the time. All the time. And when the BDDM isn't here, I not only talk to God, I talk to my spirit guides, my angels, my ancestors, his daughter, my daughter, Diane Boyer, Piggy Woo, Pitbull, daughter of the City Sioux, and my grandmother, now I was just told 2 days ago, was an earth angel also. I got my wings, angel wings, months ago. I asked God if I could have them to hang on the wall, and he didn't say yes or no, but they aren't here. But I did earn them by doing my work. And also, people keep talking about this Akashic records. I'm being told, hey, Christy, look out. There's, evil devil people looking into your Akashic records. Listen, if I told you I'm from the one, get it right, Christy. Okay. My name is Christy Sky. I'm a StarSeed implant. I was back in the Egyptian days, but I am of royal blood, meaning I'm from the original 7 tribes on this earth. Now, shove that up you know where. If you don't believe me, God told me that. So if you don't like it, too bad. I said I'm from the original 7 tribes. I have royal blood. I am somebody special. Okay, Christy, would you elaborate on that? All right. Being that I was abused and everything my whole entire life at 64 years of age, never had any love, kisses, fun, nothing, never went nowhere, just being a dirty slave and a people pleaser, kissing ass, people taking advantage of me, stealing my stuff all my life. No, I wasn't mad about it. Because you know why? I always loved God and I suffered my whole entire life, so what the hell difference does it make? If everybody did everything to you your whole entire life, it's nothing new. You're used to it. So let's say, you're homeless here in the van and you went and got $60 worth of dollar pieces or something, hit them in case of emergency, and you forgot and was digging and someone threw the sock out on the floor and somebody got in your van when you walked to the store and evidently took your pair of socks with the money in it. There's nothing to be mad about, okay? I guess they needed it worse than I did, but that sure would have been nice to have. But that's the way my whole life went. I got one new thing in 64 years. I got one new thing, and that was a Whizzer motorbike. My very good girlfriend, Olga Tabakov from New York via Russia, loaned me the money. I worked for her, and I paid her back. I've always been an extremely hard worker. When people say, why are you a bum, Sky? I have never been a bum. My grandmother told me, I believe I was in my 30s, hey, Christy, you better pour it on, man. What are you going to do when I die and you're here with the kids? And I told Granny, I'm not going to do anything, Granny. I mean, the house is paid for. I want the house. I don't care about any money. And she said, well, you better get going on the money. So I worked, attention, I worked 7 days a week for 15 years straight before I got cancer. Okay, that's what stopped that work program. But my grandmother told me, you are not to cash one of those checks. You bring them to me and I'll give you $20 on each check. And I was getting good money because I was working in the nursing field and I was hospice respite through Good Sam at that time. I did 15 years there and 2 other jobs. Okay. What kind of jobs do you do? What kind of jobs don't I do? I did all the plumbing ever since I was 8. I took care of animals. I raised goats. I gave my mom enough money for a down payment when I was 14 on a 12-acre, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house on the southern Oregon coast. Nobody in the family had that money except me. It was in the bank. My mom said she was going to pay it back. She never did. And then she said she would give me, there was 12 acres. I couldn't have a house or anything, but I could have 4 acres of the property, which she lied. And when I went to go move there from Portland, she asked me where I was going, and I told her, well, I'm going down to the coast. I'm going to get on my 4 acres, build a cabin, and start raising dogs, eat some deer meat, and get me a couple goats, and, just get busy, enjoy picking up rocks on the ocean or something. I don't know. But, no, that didn't work out either. So, what happened to me? Okay, well, Grandma was killed, and when her sister was driving 60 or 80 miles an hour back in northern Minnesota in the dead of winter and careened into a snowplow, split the car in half, killed my grandmother. What happened to the money, Christy? Well, I wouldn't even know. I figured there was close to over $600,000 should be in the bank account anyway. And then we had 224 stocks shares, a PP&L here in Portland. And there was a land deed grant for up in Alaska. Grandpa had bought land up there. So good Lord, we're talking over $1 million even back in the day. And then she had all my money too. And why was my money with hers? Because I was taught to mind. So nobody wanted to hear anything I said. I was a slave to everybody all my life. I mean, this is how it went with me. Shut up. Get over there and get to work. Nobody's talking to you. Did anybody ask your opinion, Christian? Well, then don't open your mouth. Get over there and go back to work. Nobody's even talking to you. Nobody cares to hear what you have to say. And I go back to work. So, yeah, work was good for me. Work always worked out good for me. I loved working. Get away from the monsters I lived with. Okay, so I'm a very hard worker, and how am I doing on my job now? Are you asking me personally? Because I like myself, and I have high self-esteem, and I'll explain that one in a second, too. I'm doing excellent. When I tell you that I started on this program and worked almost 24 hours a day for 9 months straight, I just made it over the edge at the deadline. God told me if you don't get up and move out, you're not going to make it and you're going to be sorry, because I was being bombarded by witchcraft, death spells. And when you say, Christy, well, come on now, give us a break. No, kids, this is true. This is all true. Grandma doesn't lie. When God told me to go out and investigate about that Kevin, yeah, horror among horrors. My own mother and my eldest daughter were in broad daylight behind the house doing spells on me. They couldn't see me, and I was standing right there. And yes, they were doing spells on me. I am Christy Estelle Sky. I don't know anybody else in Portland by that name, and I was horrified. So, I'm a truth speaker. Okay, so I came back and God said, "What did you see?" And I said, "Well, BDDM was there, and he was rolling a blunt on the picnic table. There was a black dead guy laying on the ground. There was two other guys at the picnic table." I said, he said, "What do you mean there was a black guy on the ground dead?" Yeah. I said, "Yeah, there was." He didn't look like he suffered or anything. He looked like possibly he had been sitting on the picnic table, maybe overdosed, and just keeled over, and there he was laying there. He wasn't look like, he wasn't in a ball. He wasn't bleeding. He wasn't anything. He just looked like he had overdosed, and everybody was just wherever he fell off the table. I guess that's where he was laying, and nobody was paying him any attention. So I just figured they're a bunch of devil and witches and everything. They were probably going to do something to him. Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But when I came back around the front of the house after going through the shock and horror of my mother and my eldest daughter being devil worshippers and horrible people doing mean stuff to me, I never knew that before. But the worst of horrors that the DM was with, I call her Piggy, Melissa. I don't know that for a fact. I saw something there. I couldn't actually say that was Piggy or Melissa, but I think it was. She looked a little different than when I knew her. But here's what I am saying. When I was standing there wondering what I was going to do, how I was going to report about the black guy, I'm not trying to do, I'm white, but it doesn't even matter. But this was a good-looking young black man, about 34 years old, I suppose. So I knew I have a responsibility to do something. But when I was there, horrified about that, thinking, how am I going to handle this situation? Piggy, I'll call her Piggy, whether it's true or not. That used to be that girl's nickname that waltzed off with the DMBD 20 years ago or something. I just figured it's her. It's probably not, but I'm going to still call her Piggy, okay? God did not correct me on that, so until I'm corrected, I'm going to call her Piggy. All right, so she takes off her human skin down to her waist. Attention. She peeled her human skin off down to her waist. Wasn't allowed to watch TV when I was young, so I don't know anything about movies that showed that, okay? Everybody, anything I say, they say, oh, did you see that movie? No, we weren't allowed to watch TV. I don't watch TV now. Waste of time. I got too much to do. But this lady peeled her skin off like down to her waist, and I was horrified. If everything wasn't a shock enough what I saw, she's a monster under there, okay? What do you mean, Sky, she's a monster? Well, just what I said, okay? I don't know what species are here on Earth hiding in human skin clothes, but that is a monster, an alien monster, a devil monster. I can draw a picture of exactly what it looked like, full color details. I can do that for you and show you what I saw. But I do know this. It had one big long tentacle thing came out of there, and everybody's going, oh, look at her. She's sick. And somebody else is going, well, what the hell's wrong with her? And her tentacles coming out of there, and they're saying, well, you know she's sick. She's going to have a baby. And if we don't get her some food, the baby's going to die. And so, I looked over at the DMBD and said, are you serious? You're sticking your penis in that? And of course, he didn't hear me, but shock of horrors, I'm thinking, oh my God, what the? Oh, please, God, don't do any more for me. Shock among shocks. But what I am saying is this. What was more horrifying than that was when they said, well, we got to get that divine feminine, the high priestess, or whatever they were calling me at the time. I've been on different levels. We got to go get her and kill her and bring her out here, because if she doesn't get her to eat, if she doesn't get a divine, sacred, God person to eat, she's going to die and the baby's going to die. And I'm standing there saying to him, what is the baby going to come out? Is it a monster too? Comes out a monster and you throw a baby skin on it? I don't know. But here's what I am saying. That was a coven. So when God asked me what I saw, I told him exactly what I saw. I told him exactly what happened. He said, what did you do? I said, I turned around, came right back, came home, and went back to work on my studies. He said, Christy, I want to ask you something. I said, okay. He said, if I put you in charge of what you just saw, how would you handle that? And I said, I'll tell you how I would handle it. I said, I would move swiftly, quietly, and I'd take them all out. All of them. Immediately, the whole just wipe that whole fucking thing right out of there. He said, what do you mean? I said, just what I said. Those people are victimizing people. They're doing ID theft. They're robbing and stealing people. They're doing witchcraft on me. That's why I'm in so much pain. That's not my fibromyalgia and lupus killing me here at night. All night I'm crying like a baby. I'm in so much pain. I'm out of my mind. My hair is like straw and wire. I said, they're working overtime on me out there. And I said, I'm trying to work for you. And he said, Christy, I'm going to ask you something. That is your mother and your daughter there. I said, absolutely, take them. Take them too. If they're with the devil and they're victimizing people on this earth, take them right out. Why spare them? Why spare them just because they're my mom and my daughter? My daughter wasn't raised like that. And Dirty Polly was the devil. She abused me my life. I'm not mad at her. I forgave her. But before she died, I did say, Mother, don't you think you should, get down on your hands and knees and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior? Confess your sins, Mama, you're going to hell. Well, my mom never went to hell. You know why? Because this is hell. This isn't hell like a burning brimstone hell. But, oh, absolutely. God told me in no uncertain terms when he came to get me and needed my help. He said we're waist deep in devil muck. The devils have taken over this Gaia Earth sphere, our round ball of Earth here, and they have completely overran the place. And as soon as I got on my spiritual journey, I'm standing by that. Okay, I'm standing by the fact that everybody all around us is devils, evil, aliens, reptilians, or whatever. I don't even care who you are. I'm not from this planet myself. So I'm not judging anybody from another planet. But as far as I know, the Palladians or the StarSeed people, they're not victimizing anybody. They're helping. We're trying to save the earth, clean it up, and make it better for everybody. So what I'm saying is that God was very upset with me when he said, You would actually do that to your own mother and child? I said, absolutely. If I was, I'm sorry. Yes, I would. I said the same thing about the mayor of Portland. What is going on in this city was so outrageous. I just every day say, "Yeah, everybody be grateful Christy Sky's not the mayor of Portland, Oregon, because I'd be cleaning that stuff up." And he says, Christy, I want you to do something for me. He said, I want you to go and pray, 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 pray. You pray and pray and pray till you clean it out of you or whatever. That you need to pray that your mother and your daughter be forgiven, turn their face to God. Perhaps they could be saved. I said, of course I will, but thank God that you're God and you're such a nice guy, because I would wipe those son of bitches right off the face of the earth one fell swoop. I said, can't you just send a lightning bolt out there at night and start the house on fire and burn them out? And they said, well, what about the DMBD? I said, what about him? He's the leader. And he's putting his mail thing in that monster. He said, well, how do you feel about that? I said, that's the same as my mom and my sister. I mean, my daughter, my eldest daughter. If he is doing that to me also. It's him doing stuff to me. Yes, he is the leader of the pack out there. He's the head one, you know. I said, I don't have any mercy for him either. He shouldn't be. God, do you understand? You put him over here to work with me. He's supposed to be a divine masculine. He's in a devil coven doing horrible things to people. He's lying, cheating, stealing. He's doing everything. And he's definitely out to kill me. Okay. So I said, yeah, no, I'm not going to apologize. I will learn how to pray. I will ask for, forgiveness for thinking such horrible things. But I do know that vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I never said that it was my job to take anybody out. He asked my opinion. And I told you, when I'm doing this class, I will let you know when it is my opinion and whether it is what I've been taught. So this is what I have to say about that. All the bitching, crying, screaming in the world didn't bring the DMBD back. No, no, because we have free will, and God tried to explain that to me. And I said, why would you give me somebody that's supposed to be with me, that we're supposed to get married, and be my stronghold with me when I'm here alone? You know I'm here alone. Everybody's gone. There's nobody to even talk to about what I'm learning. I can't even talk to him about it, because he's such a liar, and I'm not going to fight with him. You say, I know what you're doing. I had a vision. I said, I went right out there and was standing right next to you at the picnic table when you're rolling that blunt with that guy dead on the ground right beside you. And he's like, oh my God. This is what he said to me. Oh my God. Tay, you better come over here. Listen to this shit she's saying to me. And yeah, Tay's an evil fucking bitch too. She's in the fucking same evil devil worshiping, doing spells, all that crap. And I'm gonna say it again. I just started this journey 9 months ago. I did not know people did witchcraft. I didn't. I thought that was in the 1700s at the Salem witch trials. I didn't know we had witches nowadays. I didn't know that the earth was covered. The devils have taken over, or I guess you call them devils. God called the DMBD something else, and I was going to write it down, but I forgot what it was. But there's different words for different things, but I just call these kind of people, like witches and all that stuff, just evil entities. And, yeah, it's real sick. But so what happened with that? Are you serious? Are you really asking me? Well, I told you God's the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. He's a hell of a nice guy. So, of course, for 8 months, I was bombarded with every kind of dirty death spell, graveyard spell, get fat, wreck your hair, lose your baby, fuck your womb up, everything. Yeah, I lost the baby too. Yes, I did. Yes, we did have a baby, but it's not there now. And I shouldn't even have said anything to him about it, because evidently he went right out there and told them, and they all got busy. But, I didn't speak on him too much about that either. I think that I already know what that was about. that I was bombarded with witchcraft, and then there's nobody here. I'm alone, and I'm very old to have a baby. I know enough to not drink, drug, or take anything, and stay in the bed, stay off your feet till you give birth, and then just have the baby there with you, and the dog can help me with the baby. I would love to have a baby, but that's all in the past now too. So it's very heartbreaking. And when you say, Christy, don't start that shit now, I'm going to start the shit now. Okay, I said this is the hardest, excuse me, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life. But more so than that, I didn't get the skivvy on the DNA, but I've been tweaked twice. You know, they came and tweaked my stuff because I told them I got to get going. And, um, they don't really want you drinking coffee. And as far as everybody going on the World Wide Web and saying all that stuff about me, I don't care about that. I don't care about that because when God asked me about it, I told the truth. Okay? So evidently it's not a problem with God. There's nothing you do that God can't see, everybody. So, he was mad and wet him about that. I told him it's not even an issue. Don't even make it an issue. It's not an issue with me. They've been saying that about me since I was a little girl. They said I was smoking cigarettes in 6th grade in the bathroom when I got punished. I can't even imagine if I even thought of something like that. What would happen? What kind of beatings I'd take for that? So no, I didn't smoke a cigarette till after I was 22 years old and in college when I smoked my first cigarette. And I didn't smoke a lot of them because I was an athlete. But I did like to drink when I got older. I was, I had a lot of horrible experiences my whole entire life. That's what I'd like to say. You're a StarSeed implant when you're beaten, treated bad, raped, misaligned, just, anything that can and will go wrong does. Hardship and trouble are your only friends. I've been down ever since I was 10. Nothing ever went good for me my whole entire life. But that's not exactly true either because I always knew that God was with me. He only talked to me in 3rd grade, and then here I'm 64. But I know that when I was younger, I called them signs. Okay, signs would be like this: you're going down the road by yourself, and you see something. Okay, whatever that is that you saw, I knew innately. Stop in your tracks. Turn around. Go the other way immediately. Something's wrong. Don't go that way. So I will tell you the truth. I always got signs on my whole entire life. I always was able to tell when people were lying to me. I prostituted for 7 years on the streets of Portland, helped catch 2 murderers of the prostitutes. I was never, anything bad happened to me because I was not drinking or using on the job. Okay? I had my own list of rules. No, I did not have a pimp. I said I was by myself. But nothing bad ever happened to me because I had my own. I went to work on that job just like you would at any other job. You don't go to work drunk at a manual, so why would you go to work drunk as a prostitute on the street, no less? Okay, so I did that for 7 years till the cop said, if you don't get off that block, we're going to take you to jail. And I was really quite sick of it, and so I did something else. But it was very good money, very fast money. Easiest job I ever loved, okay? That's the truth. That was the best job I ever had in my life. I enjoyed it. I used safe sex. I preached safe sex. All the prostitutes, I carried condoms for everybody. I didn't put my mouth on anybody. I didn't allow anybody to touch me. And it was easy money for me, folks. Okay, so moving along. I'm about done in for today, but I'm going to tell you now that I understand everything God says to me, okay? I don't have a problem. God can tell me anything, okay? He can tell me, Christy, I need you to go in the bathroom, put some glue on the bottom of your feet, and go hang yourself upside down there in the corner over there. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm going to go do it. Why? Because he's God, and he's good. He's a very good guy. This guy is super good. Meaning, this guy's got more patience and tolerance than anybody I've ever seen in my life. And yes, I do argue with him. I've had 2 very bad arguments with God. No, he did not abuse me. No, he did not punish me or hurt me or give me more witchcraft or anything. No, he didn't do that. He just said, usually when we get an argument like that, if I lose my temper real bad or anything, he just says, I'll talk to you in a couple days or something, and leaves me. Then I feel horrible, start crying because I feel so guilty and horrible that I talked and raised my voice to God. And God told me, Christy, I picked that guy out for your husband. I'm going to ask you something. Please don't argue with that man. Lower your voice. Stop swearing. Do you have to argue about everything? Stop trying to be in control, Christy. And I said, well, I'm not letting him control me. He's not running this ship. He can get his own ship and run it. This is my ship. I pay it, and I'm running it. If we have him running it, well, I'll be in prison in hell in a handbasket. I'm not going to prison. I don't do prison. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I don't want to go through stress. I don't need any drink or drugs. I don't need nothing from nobody. Okay? I don't even need money. I'm fine. I've been poor my whole entire life. I'm not mad about it. But I was told that if I work hard, that, and if I was patient, if I did my studies and did a good job and I am a good little person, that God would think about it. He would think about, helping me out, which is so sweet of him. Because he did tell me some months ago, Christy, what is wrong with you? Christy, can you please stop having those anxiety attacks? All you do is sit and worry. And I told him, I'm sorry. I've never owed money on any bills in my life, and it really weighs heavy on me. I need about $6,000 or $7,000. You think you could, loan me $6,000 or $7,000, and then I won't be worried about it. He said, put it down on a piece of paper and submit it to me. I think he was joking. No, yeah, I'm in debt. I'm in debt. It's not the end of the world, though, because check it out. I've got a new lease on life. What's going to happen if you owe $6,000 in the world today and you die tomorrow? Nothing. They get a tax write-off. It's not even that serious. So being grateful, having gratitude, being blessed, and then, doing your work that God asks you to do. And I'll talk more on that tomorrow. But I should have started with my... God gets very disappointed in me sometimes. He's very disappointed that I cannot on my own figure anything out, okay? But I'm doing better, I think, okay? I'm a little bit nervous. I'm sure I have some things like personality disorders. No, I'm not mentally ill. I took 2 mental evaluations for the government because I had government jobs. I passed both of them with flying colors. So everybody that says I'm crazy, no, I'm not. I'm highly intelligent. I'll tell you that. I'm very intelligent. I'm very smart like a fox. Watch out for Christy Sky. She may fool you, okay? She may not let you know what she's thinking about, but she is watching you. Even when she's not looking at you with her face and eyes, she's listening from another room. Okay, so let's do our letter. God said, I'm very disappointed. You didn't tell your answers to angels, your legion of 3,000. You didn't even burn any candles for them, give them any food or anything, Christy. I said, God, I really did not know that I was supposed to do that. I can do that. I can do that. And have I done it yet? Well, he just told me, is it December? Yes, January. Okay, he told me the end of December. No, I have not made it to the grotto to go light the candles. And no, I don't have the money for the candles this week because my dog is having a problem and she needs to be taken care of first. Before the candles and the gratefulness, well, yes. In the 3D world, yes. The angels and the ancestors, Jesus, Mother Mary, God, the Legion of 3,000. I'm here saying thank you every day. I'm sorry I don't have any candles. If Sweet Sweet would give me a ride to the thing out there on 33rd and Marine Drive or wherever it was, 122nd, I could get some wax and make my own candles. I know how, but so let's start with the letter. Attention. It says God, Jesus, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, Legion of 3,000. Christy, Estelle, StarSeed, Sky loves you. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug. I love you all so much. Okay? Devils, injustice, 3D bitch ass hell. I'm on it. Okay, speaker of truth. That's my dog. Oh, this man gets crossed on. Speaker of truth, prayer, humility, and grace. And it says, giving it all over to you, God. Okay, do you need to go outside, honey? You have food and water. There's your water bucket. Well, there's nothing in that refrigerator for you. I'm sorry, we don't have anything. No meat or anything. Oh, you want a scratchy? Scratchy. Okay, I'm right in the middle of my lesson, hon. Do you think you could do? I'm almost done. So let's close out with a prayer and call this a day. God, I'm so grateful that you are in my life. I love you so much, God. Thank you for giving me some love because it has changed my life. I'm not the same person anymore. Thank you for telling me and teaching me about healing myself. I'm almost completely, totally healed up. I have a little bit residual, what is that called? It's called sadness, a little bit about the BDDF, but no, it's the BDDM, but I can't do anything about that. I'm staying in my own lane. I'm not getting out of my lane for anybody. And I'm taking it up a couple more notches. I heard you. I'm right with you. And I'll close this out with this. Whatever I thought was bad, whatever I thought was sad, whatever I even thought about anything wasn't anything compared to what my Master God, my Heavenly Father, put me through right up to the end of December. What do I mean? He put me through my paces. Whatever it was, he sent me in. I warriored. I did everything. I do everything. I'm not just the things there. I'm more things now. I'm clairaudient. I'm clear something else. I also what else did you say? Well, I'll have to write it down. I've got gifts. I've got gifts. I've been given gifts of insight so that I can look at people and see the devil in them. I don't have to guess. Okay, I can see the devil in them. I don't, I don't need to guess or use my intuition or anything like that. I can see him. He gave me the eyesight to see the evil devils, the witches, and all that. I see them all. Those monsters under human skin, I see those too. So, how do I feel about it? I'm starting to love that because now I realize that this may not be called hell, but it's true what God said. This whole Mother Earth has been taken over by evil entities, deities, sick, sad, sickening devils, Satanists, unforgiving, horrible things are going on here. 144,000 are the light workers, okay? I'm not only a light worker, but I'm going to tell you this. You don't need to be a genius to know that if God is speaking to me, there's a reason he's speaking to me, you guys. Okay, whether he just said, "Hey, there's that old lady in the van. Let's dig her out of there. She's a hard worker. Let's go get her and see what she can do. We'll put her through her paces." I'm going to be there. I'm a winner, and I'm always going to be there for God. I don't care anything about anybody else in this whole world except my dog now. Christy, if God told you to go do something and you got thrown in the penitentiary, which is your worst fear in life, how would you feel about that? I wouldn't worry about it at all. No, I would not be afraid if God told me to do something and I was taken and tortured and put in prison and hell and everything. No, I'd go right ahead on it because I know that God has his reasons for everything. And so if he tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. It's called the leap of faith. I was having a little problem with that, but not anymore, okay? Uh, God was very brokenhearted about Big Daddy because he knew how much I loved him, and I do believe that he would have been the man to lead that legion of 10,000 men. I tried to tell him, Avery, I'm white and you're black, if nothing else. It would be a changer to have a couple that's divine, that one is black and one is white. It might help things here. But, to each his own. He's into better looking, younger women that have more money. I'm not a money monger. I don't need all that. I'm very naturalistic, holistic person. I don't need a $50,000 truck. You know what I mean? I'm not putting on any heels. I was a model here in Portland when I was 18 years old. And yes, I had a 38, 26, 36 body. So go figure it out yourself. I have worked myself to death. I cannot walk. My legs, they only swell up and hurt when Big Daddy comes here. And I'm not being mean. Whether he's got some kind of residue on him, I do smudge. I take sea salt baths and I feel better. But, I'm not going to put that on anybody. I'm just telling you, that's true. My legs don't swell up at all. I can walk any other day except when he's around. And then I can't walk at all for about a week. And I'm in so much horrible pain. I'm just not nice to be around. I'm really quite angry about it because you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's doing it to me on purpose, but that's not a fair statement. I didn't ask him if he was doing it to me on purpose, and even if I did, I'm not sure that he would tell me the truth. Okay, so he's got his own agenda. I've got mine. I tell him I'm staying in my lane. Don't start an argument with me. This is my house. I pay the bills. You want to live here? Well, then, get a job. Okay? You know what God told you to do. He can smell money like a bloodhound. So if there's any money in Portland, Oregon, if he thinks there's any way he can get his hands on it, trust me, he will. So here's what I said. I told him I didn't want any money. I told God, don't give me anything. Don't give me any money. It's a problem for me. I don't want any money. Don't want any right now. Don't need it. I'm doing fine. Let me do my lessons and my work because here's the deal. I'll start another job. And I've already done that. Okay? Yeah, I'm doing that too. Yeah, I'm starting another job. I'll make money off that. And of course, I'm on disability. I have to report it and all that other stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead on it. I'm not going to, there's some really miserable people, and everybody's always hated me since the day I was born, so I don't take it personally. They've called me names, they've done everything to me. So if everybody wants to think I'm crazy, I'm making this all up, what the hell do I care what they're thinking? I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass. I'm not a people pleaser. And let me tell you this, I've been nice to people my whole life. What would Jesus do is what I always said in my brain when I stopped and somebody needed help. WWJD, I think Jesus would have stopped and helped them. So that's exactly what I've always done. And until somebody tells me differently, I'm going to continue to be the one that holds their head up, that does it, that goes the extra mile, that does whatever it needs to be done. Because I can do that by all the abuse and misuse and beatings and people trying to kill me, pull out my hair, whatever, my whole entire life. So, my little daughter that was murdered, when she was a little girl, you know what she used to say to me? But, Mommy, I love everybody. I love everybody, Mommy. And I told her, really, Maymay? Well, Mommy doesn't love everybody. And I'm learning to love everybody now. But you know who I love the most? I love God. I tell him all the time, I love you, God. And you know who else I love? I love myself. I love myself, yeah. I'm very proud of me. I'm doing excellent. I'm going to be the one, but I'll close this out by saying this. When God told me to get up and get going now, he says, all you have to do is you're on the last stretch. I said, do you see me? I can't function, I'm being bombarded daily, nightly, 24 hours a day, God. They are still doing that witchcraft. I can't move. I'm in pain. I don't want them to know how bad I'm hurting. He said, Christy, stop it. I said, really? He said, yeah, check it out. He said, you're not like the other light workers, earth angels. He said, you're different. You're not like the rest, the 144,000. So don't even put yourself there. He said, I told you I took care of that. That is not going to touch you after you make it over this last leap. they won't be able to, nobody on earth will be able to touch you at all. You will never need to worry about anything hurting you again. I cannot stand to hear you crying anymore. It almost kills me. And this is what I'm saying to you now. When I made it over that finish line, and when you say, Christy, where did you go? I'm up in the higher realms. I'm not sure what, there's no signs on anything, so I don't know. I was way up there, though, not where I'm faintish in the air, but probably midway. Let's say maybe 9, 8, 10, I don't know, somewhere in there. And I'm crawling on my stomach and I'm bloody from head to toe. And I hear these voices saying, oh my God, look at her. Look at her. Oh my God, she's almost dead. Look, she's been through so much they broke her mind. And the other one said, oh my God, she's all bloody. I think she's going to die. She said, look, they broke her heart too. And somebody else said, and look, her, what's that called inside of me? It's called my soul. Is it a soul? Soul? I think that's what I got inside of me that I incarnated. Yeah, soul. Okay. They said, look, they cracked her soul too. It's almost broken too. And then these ladies, I heard the voices. I think they were angels. I didn't see them in person though. And they said, oh my God, he's killed her. She's going to die. And when they said that to me, I told them I'm not dead yet. I'm just all bloodied up. I'm not dead. And they said to God, why would you do that to her? Don't put any more on her. You're going to kill her, God. She's almost dead. I said, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I am okay. I really am. I'm going to be just fine. I'm back on my feet. I'm not looking good, but I am feeling fine. I made some nice holistic food, ate some oranges, and I had some grapefruits. I cut them up. And you know what? I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm not exactly sure why God talks to me, but I love every minute of it. And I'm sure he talks to many, many other people too. But this is what I am saying. Somebody's not telling me something, and I'm having a hard time figuring it out. And am I having dreams about it? Well, I'm pretty well downloaded with burdens of my own in this program and trying to hold everything up and get the information out. And I don't know anything. I'm very ignorant. So this is what I'm saying. There is a reason that God is talking to me, Christy Still, StarSeed Sky. Yes, it is. Okay, so that would go along with what in the hell would people that don't even know you, never seen you before, many of them maybe, why would they be trying to kill me? Let's ask that question. No, it wouldn't be because BDDM is out there and the leader of their stinking troop or not or whatever. He could have been, he's not the leader. I just thought he was. But he was there rolling his blunt and smoking it. But that doesn't make him guilty of that. But what I am saying is this. Somebody knows something more about me than I know about myself. Because it doesn't make any sense at all that people are trying so hard to kill me. You know, there's something behind it. There's a real reason they don't want me alive on this earth. There's something. I haven't got that far in my studies yet. I'm getting more and more blessings, abundance, gifts, and everything all the time, the harder I work. And I was really disappointed with the whole TikTok and, what's that called? It's called YouTube. When I was going through all this stuff and I looked so rough because I took those videos, it's because everybody thought I was going to give up. I really do think they did think I was just going to quit. I never ever once said I was quitting this job. I never got up and told anybody I was quitting. I never once said I wanted to quit. I never once said I wouldn't be there, and then that includes 2035 when God expects me to walk out amongst the wounded people and heal them. Okay, I know that I got the golden hands and the golden womb, but I guess that's no good now either. The womb isn't anyway. The hands, I think the hands are good. These hands are going to be the hands that I lay on people and heal them. Mm-hmm. Do I need God to jazz up my hands for me to heal people? No, I don't think so. I think it's innately inside of me. I think it's already programmed in there. If I did it when my children were small, babies, because they had high fevers and drew the fevers at them, why couldn't I heal people? Okay, so I'm not asking God to do anything special for me and pay attention to me or give me gifts that I don't need to have or that belong to somebody else or anything like that. I'm just simply in the program in my lane. And yeah, I do. I suffer, you guys. I do. Not just being exhausted. I have fibromyalgia, lupus, asthma, anxiety. They said I had depression due to chronic pain, but I'm here to let you know I've never been depressed in my whole 64 years. It's not in my program itinerary. Depression doesn't go here because if a person ever got depressed, you couldn't go forward. I'm not bogging down anywhere. I don't bog down. If I can't get it one way, I just stop, regroup, back it up, and go a different way. I don't consider anything a loss because I've never lost at anything in my life. People stole everything from me and I have nothing, but that doesn't mean I'm not the richest woman in the world. I have a wonderful dog and I'm very blessed. I have a nice apartment and it's small and okay. And I don't need a man. I don't need any man. I don't need a husband. Maybe God was trying to help me by saying, well, you two can cling to each other, and help each other through the rough times. But, when I had those real rough times and there was no way he came or anything, he absolutely added to the horror of my situation that hurt me so bad that I didn't even ever think I could heal from that, but I did. This whole program is about healing and moving and learning good things to help other people. I'm here just like I was a nurse on earth, amongst 100,000 other things I was when I was working. I'm here to do good. I will never, I've been that way all my life. Just like when that kid was making fun of Evelyn Watson and knocked her off the swing, or blacked his eye, got kicked out of school in third grade. But I got up and blacked his eye. Told him to leave her alone. Don't knock her off the swing. Shut up about her giraffe cookies. What's it to you if she's eating giraffe cookies? She's not shoving them down your throat. Okay, so leave her alone. Why does everybody got to be so mean? Okay? So with that, I would just like to say, Miss Pearl Hawkins, I started crying when I turned on the YouTube, and I don't know if it was Christmas or New Year's, but Miss Hawkins, I wasn't lying. I bought you the StarSeed Oracle deck, Miss Pearl Hawkins, and I don't know how to get it to you, but it's brand new, and I paid quite a bit of money for it because you needed some cards. And I would love to send these to you, but I'm letting you know I'm very, very sensitive now. I mean, I don't let people see me cry, but Miss Hawkins, I had to stop and pray when I saw you outside. I just couldn't believe it. So, therefore the grace of God go I. I don't lie, Miss Hawkins. I've got your Starseed Oracle cards. If you get a hold of me somehow or give me some way to send them to you, I can get them out I can send them to you next week. And if next week isn't okay, I can send them the first of next month. So I would like to say thank you to all the people who have helped me. There's teachers and learners everywhere. Yes, there is. This is a great thing. And I was so excited to really realize this is happening. And right now is when it's happening. So I suggest everybody, come on, you guys, get that vibrational level up. And let's get her going. And Rachel Fontaine, I love you. Divine Angel Guidance, Starseed, The Mothership. I love all you guys. Thank you for your help. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.